This book emerged from a single event, one that had as its backstory decades of study and veneration. Some of you will relate to that sense of destiny. Some will come to understand it. And for some of you, it will feel like an attack on some of your long-held beliefs about all sorts of things: the nature of the divines, history, systemic and systematic oppression, the roles of women, and others I won't expect. That is the nature of personal writing, and also the nature of religious writing. Make no mistake, this is religious writing. This is part of a new wave of goddess theology at a time when goddess is used to describe everything from a razor for removing hair from women's legs to your best friend who has made some hard choices. Theology is the study of and reflections upon the nature of the goddess. It comes from the Greek root thea, which means goddess. I was teaching at a summer festival and occasionally dancing naked around a bonfire, as one does, when I read that author Carol Christ had died. It was difficult to take in. I didn't know her personally, but her writings had a profound effect on me as I was stretching my mind and my soul to understand the nature of the divine in my world. My world at the time was Shakespeare and vocal training, and the sort of young adult poverty that most liberal arts majors experience. My unchurched upbringing had left an odd gap in my understanding of God, and my animist leanings, coupled with a head full of folklore and mythology, had colored my view of that august being, or beings, that are called God. A firm grounding in Greek and Roman mythology had also lent me the notion of a multiplicity of divine beings, surely more exciting than the peculiar Father, Son, Holy Spirit that dominated the religions of my friends and neighbors. Her essay, Why Women Need the Goddess, offered a new place to stand, a place that made sense to me on a cellular level and launched me into study, into veneration, and finally to the priestesshood and the founding of a goddess temple in my hometown. Dr. Christ is one of the foremothers of an international women's spirituality movement that inspired me, and her death brought me up short. I sat in my uncomfortable camp chair and cried, drinking strong coffee laced with Irish whiskey. When a friend saw my distress, she sat with me, and the discussion that followed made me realize that my decades-long journey had been exactly that. I had moved from a generalized idea of goddess to an academic understanding of the goddess, to a visceral connection with an unknowable mystery, grounded in the soil and stone of the land I inhabit and wrapped in the dull and ragged shawls of my female ancestral line.